right, like your lives depended on it. The Brady Bunch. That's the way we became the Brady Bunch. All right. Did anybody here not get by our booth today? Right? Everybody. So you know Susan?
I know every one of these people now.
I know. Yeah. Feel like friends, and this feels like a living room to me. Let me just give you a little bit of trivia. And you know this, I know you do, September 26th, so just a few weeks ago, marked the 48th anniversary of the airing of the first episode of the Brady Bunch.
Makes me feel old.
The show has never been off the air, ever, since it started. It remains in syndication to this day, sometimes on multiple networks. Jimmy was talking about 3 networks and you can't find anything? Go to MeTV. You'll find it there. Each one of our episodes, we did 119 episodes, each one of them has aired over 285,000 times.
Thousands.
And we only got paid for the first 10.
That's 34 million half hours of television, making it one of the most popular television shows of all time.
Did you do that math yourself, or did you?
Yes, I did.
You did?
With a calculator. I did have a calculator.
I'm gonna check.
I do.
I'm gonna go check.
285,000 times 119.
Million.
Yep. Million times. So we're pleased to be here. We didn't have a chance to talk to everybody when we were doing our picture taking and our signatures and all that, but that's all about to change. We hope you've been thinking of questions to ask us, because we're here to answer questions, amplify them, maybe share some things you don't know. Hopefully you'll ask some questions that have never been asked before.
If you ask me a question that I've never been asked before, then you win the prize, because, you know.
I got one today.
Really?
What's
yesterday,
the prize?
on the way
Win.
here, somebody asked me a question I have never been asked before. He said, in the episode Johnny Bravo, where Greg's going to become a pop star, because then he finds out it's only because he fit the suit, you know. But he actually Johnny Bravo recorded a song, or part of a song. And it was all kind of, you know, like acid rock of the day. And the question was, did I actually sing that song? And the answer is yes, I did. So there are
What was the
questions
name
out
of the
there.
song?
That's the first time you got asked that?
Yeah, countless highway, it's something down the highway.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember, because I only did it once, and then they messed with it and changed it, and that was it. That was your question. There you go. Okay. So, what do you say? We have a microphone. Anthony Anzaldo, our trusty microphone personality, who is Rose.
Q&A is our
Nice.
favorite.
So if you have a question,
part. I swear.
Toss it at us. Wait for Rose to come over. She'll hand you a microphone so everybody can hear it, and then we will answer the question.
This one's for Mike.
Please speak into the microphone.
Okay. I want to know what it was like with you working on the movie The Towering Inferno. I love all the Irwin Allen disaster movies of back in the day.
So he's asking about The Towering Inferno, which was my very first job after I got the phone call that the Brady Bunch had been canceled.
Tell us tell us who your co-stars were.
There would be no more Brady Bunch. I promptly got the job on The Towering Inferno with Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, and Faye Dunaway and Robert Vaughn and
Fred
Astaire, and the list goes on and on.
And Michael Luganland.
But the coolest part for me as a 14-year-old boy was that Irwin Allen was running around the set every day with a bullhorn saying, "More fire! Fire!" And there was a fireman for every crew member, because in those days, if you wanted fire on the shot, you had to have fire. Nowadays they just put it on computer, right? But we had real fire. It was amazing. It was great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But that's just because I was an adolescent pyromaniac.
And I was so jealous. 'Cause
And may I just say,
Irwin
I am
Allen
glad
films.
that you asked that question because while he may have been asked that question before, I've never heard it asked, and so I've never heard that story. Thank you very much.
And there were two units. There was the first unit, which was like the acting unit, and then there was the special effects unit, right? Which was the action unit. And I was in the action unit. Okay. What do we got?
What was one of your most memorable moments from doing the Brady Bunch Variety Hour?
Well, we had Ernest Thomas, who was in the audience.
Susan Olsen, by the way, is an expert on this. She wrote a book about it, about
Well,
the variety
yeah,
hour. She is a
co-authored.
resident expert.
Have you seen Susan's book?
Does anybody know what he's asking about, the variety hour? Brady Bunch Variety Hour?
9 or 10 episodes of what was voted the 4th worst show in television history.
Ever made.
Yeah. Yep.
Cannot
the TV
kill a Brady.
Guide poll.
You should
determined
get,
that.
if you want the answer to whatever, that question, Susan's book is.
Well, I wrote the sidebars. The book was written by a guy named Ted Nicholson, and my friend Lisa Sutton designed the book because I told Ted it should be a coffee table book because the whole show was so ghastly, gaudy, and
It's called Love to Love.
Love to Love You Brady's. And
Love
I
to
wrote the
Love You
sidebars.
Brady's.
Yeah. And you know what? It's really a good read. It's more than you'd ever think you'd ever want to know about the show. But it also tells you how shows were made back then. I mean, they were delivering the first episode on Thanksgiving night and afraid that they would have dead air on TV because nothing was digital. Things had to be delivered by hand. So it's pretty good. I recommend it. Amazon.
Favorite moment for me? Tina Turner was one of our guest stars. Tina Turner came on the set. Yes,
Yeah, baby.
And I went to her and I said, Tina, would you just say it? Would you say it? Would you say it just once? She looked at me and I said, please. And she goes, all right. We never do anything nice and easy. Made my
It was
day.
great. Yeah, we had some great guest stars.
The Ohio Players. Remember the Ohio Players?
Yeah.
Running
yeah.
down, we had Paul
And
Williams,
Shara.
we had Milton Berle, we had Vincent Price, we had the country singer, Deb Anderson, Lynn Anderson,
yeah.
we
The
had
Hudson Brothers.
Lee Majors and Farrah Fawcett.
And that's just the variety show,
Yeah.
which was panned as the 4th worst show ever made.
It was.
Gotta love that. Yeah. So get Susan's book.
All right, remember now, we're only as entertaining as your questions, so think of a good one. One over there. Go, sir.
Were any of you surprised that the show was not picked up for a 6th season? Were you given advance notice? Were you told we're not sure what's going on? What was your reaction?
That's a Barry question, I think.
I was
I think we
not
all
just
have
surprised. I was really, really pissed. They had told us we were going to do a 6th year. We were all excited because we were going to renegotiate our contracts and make some money. And so we all left thinking that we would see each other in a couple of months. Got a call from some, even the executives wouldn't call. They had some, like a mail boy call us to say the show had been canceled. And there were other reasons for it, but most of us were shocked.
And we were supposed to go to either India or Japan for the 6th season, and I actually have the script for the 3-part
you mean
passage
as-
to India. A
as a-
Brady Bunch Bollywood bonanza.
It's a continuation from the Grand Canyon, Hawaii,
Then Cincinnati.
And then we were going to, whatever.
India.
India,
Brady's
yeah.
around the world.
Yeah.
They were deathly afraid of the budget.
Yeah,
budget was
and
like-
I don't know why they picked India, but I think Mike and I had a different take on things. I, for one, and I'm sorry, I hate to tell you this because you're going to hate me, but I was really praying hard that the show would get canceled. And I'm sorry, Barry. But I was starting puberty, and that's embarrassing enough. You don't want to do that on national TV, so I just...
Yeah, like I did.
Right. And I didn't want a very special episode where Cindy gets her period or something.
Like I did.
Right.
Who thinks Susan Olsen is cute enough to
Cover that.
yeah, to be okay on national TV?
Thank you. But I just, I kind of wanted to have some normal years. And I think your first reaction, Mike, was, great, a summer where I don't have to work. Yeah.
I can ride my skateboard now.
Yes. Oh, I could start riding horses because they had like an injury clause in the contract. You couldn't do things that were terribly dangerous. And horseback riding was considered one of those things.
Yeah.
Sharizi.
So I have a question for all three of you over here.
Started getting into the business when you guys did, about a few years later. But do you feel that you guys were treated unfairly? Did you have parking spaces? Were you? I'm serious.
Oh, honey, I guess I haven't told you. Sheree Curry is a friend of mine.
You have to repeat the question now
Okay,
because
the question
the other
is,
people didn't hear it.
Were we treated fairly? Did we get parking spaces and all that? The first season, we had to park outside the lot at a pay parking lot.
They call it a drive-on. If you have a drive-on, that means you get to bring your car onto the lot and park in the studio parking lot, right? We didn't get drive-ons. The cast of the Brady Bunch did not have drive-ons.
And
Right.
then when we did get them, they didn't give us our own places, really. And then when they gave us our own places, each of them said Brady Kids. Because if you'll remember, a big theme in the show was a kid gets a swelled head. And they were so afraid that we would get swelled heads if they treated us right. And so I was on a show one time with Gary Coleman, who was talking about how, well, when you're a kid and everybody's catering to you and you say, I'm hungry, and you get 5 sandwiches and everybody does everything for you. I'm like, where did you work? And, we did stay pretty level-headed.
Swelled
Two
head.
dressing rooms. We finally got our own
There's
dressing
no
rooms the
swelled
5th
heads.
season.
And it worked because we don't have swelled heads.
Right.
So whatever their evil plan was, worked out.
It did.
I'd like to share a story about how I knew that the Brady Bunch was over. Now, we've all heard stories about former child stars having a rough go of it. There's a lot of privilege that comes our way. Pretty much everything that we want is delivered to us. All we have to do is ask for it, and it's done. We have a great deal of attention coming our way. It's not really a normal childhood, and it's kind of special. There's travel involved, and we got to make music and travel, etc. So the day I got that news about the show being over on Friday afternoon, on Monday, I went back to the Paramount Studios, where I drove in practically every morning to get my things out of the dressing room. And I got to the gate, and I said, hi, Fritz, how are you? And he said, oh, hi, Barry, how are you? And I said, well, I'm doing fine. I came to clear out the dressing room. He says, great. Do you have a drive-on pass? I laughed. I did the same thing. And he said, no, you need a drive-on.
Oh.
I said, for real? I mean, you can't. He said, I'm sorry, Barry. It's, the rules. And would you pull over there? There are people behind you waiting. And I went, oh my gosh. So I pulled over, and he was kind enough to call in to try and get me a pass. Well, he got me a pass, but he got me a pass not for my parking space, but in the junk lot. So. And I had a bunch of stuff to lug over. So I thanked him very much, and I drove on, and I drove right to my parking space, all mine, Barry Williams and everything. And it had already been painted over with somebody else's name. It was no longer my space. So I had to go back to the junk lot and empty. And the whole time, I was thinking, oh my gosh. It's really over. The family, the people that I grew up with, the people that I knew the best and loved, the job, the security of it all, gone. That is very difficult as a teenager to handle for a lot of people, and some people don't make that transition. I've been very fortunate to be diversified, but boy, there were several months in there,
All 6 of us
that were very difficult.
have made it through, though. What are the chances that all 6 of us kid actors, would come through to where we are today and be okay, because we are.
Almost slim and none. Just look at just look at all the kids that have been on TV shows that have been, have a lot of things to complain about or upset about.
That's
or
a Brady thing.
Gone to vices, addictions, and things like that.
The drive on. That's gonna. When I write, Barry wrote a book. Good book. Very worth reading. When I write my book, the drive on chapter will be in there. So you can look forward to that.
Cherie, yay.
Mary,
Yes.
how was Florence?
All right. I had a crush on Florence. I really did, and I knew that I wanted music to be a part of my life and career. And she grew up on Broadway, and she did nightclubs and a lot of singing. And so there was a common interest there, as well as a spark in my little teenage mind. I invited her out on a date to go out and talk about music, which we did.
It's all in the book.
I had hopes.
Just get the book. It's all in the book.
I had hopes, but and she was.
It was a teen beat.
She was very kind. She didn't treat me like like a jerk, and I did get a kiss, no tongue, but I did at the end of the day. I got a kiss, and we've been friends. We were friends all of her life. Yeah.
I was so aware of that you had a crush on her.
The actual microphone is actually over here with this guy.
I
So.
see. Rose, get on your elevator shoes.
Cherie, you're gonna have to wait for one more. Next time.
Well, now this question doesn't seem as good, but it's for all three of you. With all of the guests you had for actors and in your personal lives, who was the most person you guys kind of geeked out over meeting?
Oh, Davy Jones. Absolutely. I mean, E. Plum squeezed my hand so hard, she nearly broke all the bones in it. We went over to meet him, and that was wonderful. But I have to give a special mention to Imogene Coca, because she was so painfully shy, and just could barely talk to you, and looking down, and the minute you put the script in her hands, she just turned it right on. She was fabulous, and then she'd go back to being very meek and very mousy, but she sent all of us a Christmas card that year, and I just thought she was so cool.
Joe Namath.
Oh.
That was great. And you had all the scenes with him.
Right, I know. When there's a scene with me and Joe Namath, Barry and Susan are either not there at all, or they're in school, or they're in the dressing room, or whatever. So I got to hang out with Joe Namath, so I would probably say Joe Namath. But Jim Backus was pretty cool too.
Oh, yes.
There's
Natalie Schaefer too.
A question like that has multiple answers.
It does.
Right?
It does, because there's so many for different reasons.
The Hawaii episode when Vincent Price keeps us captive. That was a good one. Yeah, but the show as a whole, as a finished unit of entertainment, right? That's something that you guys all see, but what we see, having been there and done it, is the process. Like, one of my favorite characters in our whole life was Jack Arnold, who was the director, and his big first claim to fame was he was the director of The Creature from the Black Lagoon. And he was one of my favorite directors.
I loved
a lot of Hawaii
him.
Because
Loved
he
him.
directed our Hawaii. He directed our Hawaii episodes, and man, he was the greatest guy. So the things that you never see on the screen are the things that we hold dear. More than just who's in the show. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of crew that you guys never know about.
Like the Kaplusians. When we had the UFO episode,
Frank
the
and
two
Sadie.
little Martian
Kaplusians?
Kaplusian people, those were our stand-ins. So we had little people as stand-ins, but we were growing and they weren't. So every year they would build boxes so that they could be as tall as we were. And then a stand-in is used for lighting the set.
The stand-in is who stands there while the crew lights. They figure out how lighting's gonna go, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I want to do one more question, and then I want everyone to put your dancing shoes on. Get ready
There's
for
a-
little boogie. There's Rose. She's
There's
got the mic.
a
We'll get
shy
the big
lady
one.
here, and she had a question she
Okay.
wanted me to ask. What was it like working with Desi Arnaz Jr.?
Oh, he was lovely. And I was very excited about him too, because he was so cute. And I was really big on. I'm a huge I Love Lucy fan. And one day, Mike and I were at the Lucy commissary at Paramount, and they were still doing the show Here's Lucy. And so Lucy's next door in the rehearsal hall, rehearsing something. And I'm like, Mike, we gotta go. I just grabbed him. You're coming with me. And we went into the rehearsal hall, and people were behind us.
Okay, whatever.
And people were behind us or going to our parents going, you have to stop your kids because that's a closed set. And Lucy doesn't like any visitors. And we walked in, and she was sitting in a chair. So she was about our height. And she looked at us, and she goes, well, hello, children. Why don't you have a seat and make yourselves comfortable? And so we did, and we got to watch her rehearse.
Okay, so some of you knew, maybe you don't, that we recorded 4 albums together. We toured as the Brady Kids, all in concert. We were here in Knoxville in 1973, as well as the Minnesota State Fair and Steel Pier. We played in Las Vegas, and we had hits like "Keep On Keeping On." We had "It's Time to Change," the Brady theme song, but probably the best known song that we had was "Sunshine Day." Now, the thing about Sunshine Day and our performing was some of us were more comfortable in our dance moves than others. So we basically did the same choreography to every song that we ever sang. And sometimes it looked like this, and sometimes it looked like that. So what I'd like to do, and I brought it along with us, is the volunteers. This is audience participation. I'd like to invite some of you to come up with me, and I would like to teach you the choreography to Sunshine Day, and then we're going to rock out. Yes.
There's room for dancers right here, right here.
Okay, so first step. Everybody learn it. All right, I'll tell you what, you've upped the ante. All of those that you participate in doing this, I will, at a successful conclusion of this song, pronounce you honorary Bradys. Honorary Brady. So if you want honorary Brady dump in your life, here we go. First step. Now, you got to use your faith, but also your personality. Let's see. Personality. Next step. Touch. Excellent. All right, that goes on for a while. We could remember more than this. And then the next one is the shot. The Brady shot. All pronounce each and every one of you, and even those of you that didn't participate, as more fully as you could have, honorary Bradys for life. I don't know any other kind of language. All right, thank you for playing along. We have a chance now for just a... Where'd my Brady mates go? Oh, they left for that part? Guys. Oh, nice. Okay, come on. We're going to do a couple more questions. And then I've got a little tribute that I want to sing for you. Or maybe we should just do that right now. We'll do 2 more questions. Yes. Go. Nice and loud.
Yes.
Yes.
You're all in with the Brady's. Thank you. So, the Very Brady of Christmas is the only thing that you've not been in.
Uh-huh.
Have you talked to Jennifer, who played you?
Jennifer is my dear, dear, dear friend. And we met at Burger King. So weird. And our kids are in the play pit.
Which one? You have to tell us which Burger King.
Burger King on San Fernando Road in Valencia, which is now a Starbucks. But
It's good enough, yeah. Dude,
but our kids were there in the play area, and we're across from each other, and I'm going, and she's going, and I'm like,
Are you?
Jennifer?
Are you?
She's like, Susan? And we came in the middle and hugged and talked, and we got to be friends. In fact, we had a podcast for a little while together, and it turned out that we had a lot in common. She was a horseback riding fanatic like me. All these little things, like everything that I like, she likes, and she's like, I love this certain movie. I'm like, oh, that's my favorite. And so
they
she's
don't
cool.
hate
I
each
love
other.
her. Love her to pieces.
They don't
and
hate
I was
each other.
so happy that they cast somebody as pretty as her, because I thought, wow, people think I turned out great.
And lastly, I'm an openly gay guy, but I gotta say, Mike Looklike, you got to kiss Melissa Sue Anderson. How was that? Come on.
That was a good day for a young man such as myself. It was not bad.
He was very shy.
There were times in the movie business when you get to kiss girls and get paid for it, which is nice. During the Brady's.
Sometimes when no movie's going on, too.
Yeah, right. When we were filming the Brady's,
Which was the last series we did.
my wife was several months pregnant, and I went to work every day and was kissing Martha Quinn, right? And Martha Quinn. I mean, she's
Original MTV DJ.
Oh yeah, one of the original MTV DJs. And my wife always points out that she's a size 1.
Tiny.
She's a size 1, which was very nice. So anyway, I got to go to work and kiss Martha Quinn every day. But yeah.
While your wife was going through raging hormones and not happy about it.
Have you ever been pregnant? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
One more question.
I remember.
Yes.
It was great.
A new fan, by the way. I love this. 3rd generation.
What was the funniest thing Susan said?
Me?
When she tried pork chop and applesauce.
No, actually, I have a really good line. And we used it. I made a special called Brady Bunch Home Movies, which was on CBS. And it was based on the fact that Robert Reed gave all of us kids Super 8 movie cameras so that we could experience what it's like to be behind the camera. And Mike took it to heart and became an assistant cameraman.
Your show was really good.
Thank you.
There's a lot of Barry in there.
We opened with my favorite Cindy line.
He took even more Super 8 footage than I did.
Yeah,
of himself.
So we open. It's kind of an introduction. We show clips from the show, and we open on my favorite Cindy line, which is Greg is like looking at his muscles in the mirror, and Cindy just walks in on him and scares me. Goes, Cindy, you shouldn't sneak up on someone like that. And I say, I didn't sneak up on you. You were just too busy looking at your muscle. Is it getting bigger? That is such a dirty line. We got to use that.
That's the best answer. That's the best question and answer combination that I've ever heard.
Well, the wit and the wisdom of Susan Olsen led her to create a television special called Brady Bunch Home Movies. And Michael, you're right. There was some footage that I had that you included in that, and footage from the variety show, from our reunions, from all kinds of things, in addition to interviewing us and our personalities today. I have brought home movies, or a portion of that, along with us tonight, and I have set it to music.
Oh,
and
that's great.
What I want you to see is the way that we interacted. This is behind the scenes. This is when the cameras aren't on. This is us goofing off. A trip we took to London, the trip that we took to Hawaii, and just being ourselves at the beach and being the friends that we are. Home movies. I'm gonna cry if I watch this. Lights, please. Please turn out the lights. Sometimes I get the feeling I was back in the old days, long ago. When we were kids, when we were young, things seemed so perfect. You know, the days were endless, we were crazy, we were young. Sun was always shining and we just lived for fun. Sometimes it seemed like late, I just don't know. The rest of my life's been just a show. Those were the days of our lives. The bad things in life were so few. Those days are all gone now, but one thing is true. When I look and I find I still love you. You can't turn back the clock, you can't turn back the time. Ain't that a shame? I'd like to go back one time on a roller coaster ride when life was just a game. No use in sitting and thinking on what you did. You can lay back and enjoy it through your kids. Sometimes it seems like late, I just don't know. Better sit back and go with the flow. 'Cause these are the days of our lives. They've flown in the swiftness of time. These days are all gone now, but some things remain. When I look and I find no change. Practicing for the Hawaiian episode. Hawaii, London. Eve's Beach House, Malibu. With Robert Reed in London. Those were the days of our lives. The bad things in life were so few. Those days are all gone now, but one thing's still true. When I look and I find I still love you. I still love you. Thank you, and thank you, Susan Olsen, for putting that television special together, Home Movies. Well, thanks very much, everybody, for listening to us. Now, we'll all be tomorrow for a period of time. If there are questions that we didn't get to tonight, please stop by and ask us then. We appreciate your being here tonight. We've got a whole evening of music and rock and roll going on for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barry Williams and the rest of the Brady Bunch. Thank you. Guys, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for the Juggernauts. Let's keep this VIP party rocking.